Hello and welcome back to the NBA DFS Slate Breakdown for Tuesday, November 18th. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann, and let's dive in. We got a 6-game slate to go over today, but before we get into it all, come join us at LineStar. $39.99 per month gets you access to all we do, the props, the DFS. You get it all for one low price. We also have a free trial. If you have never tried us out before, you can come try us out for free for 7 days. Go through the app stores, Google or Apple, or you can come to our website, linestarapp.com, and get the trial there. Free 7-day trial. Now, let's dive in. We're going to start off with position by position on FanDuel. Good old 6-game slate here, and our high owned is Shaedon Sharpe, 39% owned. He is 7K. He may end up being higher than 39% with what he has done lately. The big thing here is Drew Holiday is doubtful, and with that, he just gets way more usage. We really don't need to go too in depth here, but it's an interesting spot. It is a pace down spot. Versus point guard, they've been a little bit tougher lately, but over the last few years, you've been able to get to this team with the point guard, and I don't think that's really all that much different this season. I think that they become a little more average or below average throughout the season, I believe. But 236.5 game total, ton of usage, huge ceiling, makes all the sense in the world to get to Shaedon Sharpe. Next, we got Colin Gillespie at 5.1K, 30% owned. He definitely has the ceiling. 39 the last game. He has a 47, a 37, 30. His just normal game is probably right around 5x-ish in this spot. It is a huge pace up matchup. Portland's at 105.8 pace, whereas they are at 100.8. So that pace is really interesting. Looks like he's going to play some big minutes. However, his minutes are volatile. He can easily play 13 minutes or in a close game come out and play, low 30s. So you're taking some risk. He's high owned, which does mean to me when you're taking this kind of risk and there's this type of variance in minutes, I tend to shy away a little bit, but I'm absolutely going to have some Gillespie, just not going to go all in. Devin Booker, 9.2K. I think he looks great. I'm going to have plenty. De'Aaron Fox, 8,300. There is no Stephon Castle and no Wemby. All the usage in the world is going to De'Aaron Fox tonight at with a 234.5 game total. And he's put up a 52 and a 48 in the last. He's only 8.3. I love this spot. Memphis has been poor versus point guard. Give me some De'Aaron Fox. Let's get into some more pivot. Well, before that, let's talk Luka. He's 20% owned, 12.5K. LeBron is a game time decision. If LeBron is playing, I'm off Luka. I think his price is just too high. He should go back into these 10, 11K spot. But it's Luka. No matter who's on the court, he can still have one of those blow-up games. So if I get a little bit, I'm okay with it. But 20% owned, I think, is a little high. Pivot time, we got Curry, 8.7K, 16% owned. There's a huge ceiling in what is a close game. 223.5 game total is super low. But we know Curry has some upside, and that alone makes me consider it. Orlando ranking 15th versus point guard. They are definitely – Curry's in a better spot if Jalen Suggs does not play, which we're not sure about yet. Cam Spencer at 3,800, 8% owned. Look, he's probably going to play mid-20-ish in minutes. We have him at 22.3. He's a fantasy point per minute guy so far this season. And he's an interesting spot versus the Spurs with the 234.5 total. I think you could do worse. I think there's a decent chance of 7x here, and he could definitely get pluses on top of that. So going a low own Cam Spencer is a bit interesting. Now, on DraftKings on point guard are high owned: Fox, White, Pritchard. I don't mind you wanting to go to White or Pritchard. They both have the upside to get it done at their prices, so I'm fine versus a easy matchup. The one aspect is we do have a 10.5 game spread. If this is a blowout, maybe their minutes are a little lower and it's less likely they hit a ceiling at that situation. So you may want to try and have a net player if you have any Boston guys. Tyrese Maxey, 3.8K. We only have a 15-point projection on him. He hasn't been playing that many minutes, except for a blow-up last game in what is a blowout. And yeah, I think he's probably going a little too high owned. All right, shooting guard on FanDuel. We got Sharp, Booker, Vassell. $5,400 Devin Vassell is extremely interesting. We know he's a guy that can get it done when usage is going his way. And without Wemby, without Kessel, his usage should go right back up. He got 35 versus Sacramento last game. It's a pace-up spot. It's a very high-paced game, high-totaled game. I think it's a very interesting spot for Vassell. I don't mind eating some chalk there. You could also go to Julian Champagny at 4K, who has very, very solid projected for both line star projection and consensus. We have him at 30.5 minutes right now. And I think there's a good chance he plays solid minutes. The one aspect that I do need to bring up is it's not a foregone conclusion that he is going to play extra minutes. They like to keep him in this mid-20s range. And I think 30.5 is probably on the upper echelon of what he likely gets. So I wouldn't be opposed to moving his projection down a little bit just so you don't get quite as much, but there is huge ceiling here. He is a guy that can put together, some big games. So I'm a little interested. I'm just not going to go overboard on him. Dylan Brooks at 5,800 is popping up, 5-star alert score. We like the spot. We're going to have plenty of Portland guys in our lineups. Makes sense to want to get a little bit of Suns, and a $5,800 guy is a little easier to fit in than a Devin Booker. He's also in a good spot versus small forward. The Trailblazers are 19th, and I don't mind staying in the flames with the guy that's been hot. He got 34 real points versus Atlanta, 32 real points versus the Pacers, and what was a blowout. His minutes should be up there. I don't hate getting some Brooks. Austin Reeves at 8,600. Look, with LeBron there, he's too expensive. His usage is going to drop tremendously. But with him going pretty much low, unowned, I have a little bit of interest. But we also have to see if he truly is playing, or if LeBron is truly playing or not. He is a game time decision. There is a chance he sits out today. And if that's the case, you're probably getting Reeves at lower ownership than he should be. And talked about everybody else. So getting on over to shooting guard. Champagny at 4,700. We like him. Consensus likes him. You guys already know how I feel about him. I do think he may be going slightly over-owned here, but I don't mind some. Desmond Bane, 7,300. Without Paulo, you got to consider here some Bane. Sorry, I just had a little lapse here and don't remember if Paulo is playing today or not. So gonna check that up just to make sure. Yes, Paulo's still out. I thought he was out. Still, just wanted to double check. We did it. But yeah, without Paulo, Desmond Bane has got way more usage. He's turned back into kind of the guy that we expected. He started playing better with Paulo there, and he's just still building upon that. And he's in a very good spot versus the Warriors, who are 27th versus shooting guard. So I think it's a pretty interesting spot to go for him. Small forward. Vassell, Grant, Denny. Vassell, we talked about. Jeremy Grant at 5,700 should slide into the starting lineup and could play some big time minutes in a high game total. So I don't hate going there. I mean, he's been filling the bucket up coming off the bench and had 26 points this last game. You could do worse than getting some Grant at a medium price. Jalen Johnson, 9,400. I mean, what can you say about this dude right now? Without Trae Young, he's doing it all for this team. The ceiling is way too high not to consider him at 9,400. My man's putting up 50s with ease at 9,400. Give it to me. Franz Wagner, 8,500. It's another spot that I absolutely love going to. I think Bane is in a little bit of better spot than Wagner, but Wagner without Paulo just gets way more usage. The issue with these, or with this Warriors and Magic game, is we have a 223.5 total. That is, tied for the lowest on the slate. The Detroit Atlanta game is a little higher, and then the last 3 games are all mid 230s or higher. So it's a big discrepancy here, but with extra usage going there, it still makes sense to have some. Now, getting on over to small forward on DraftKings, Vince Williams, 4K. He's back, and the last couple games, he's been playing pretty solid minutes. We have him at 28 minutes for tonight's game in a very high pace spot. 4K is too cheap for Vince Williams. I think you should probably have a decent amount of him. Champagne, we talked about. Michael Porter Jr. at 7,600 is interesting just because of what he's done the last couple of days. This was a very big time prospect coming out of college, and he's showing it. He's the guy in Brooklyn, and he's showing he should be the guy right now, putting up some high 40s, high 50s. He's at 1.32 fantasy points per minute over the last 5, just a giant number compared to with Denver. He was at like 0.95. We've seen this role reversal on Denver too. Cameron Johnson was just over fantasy point per minute with the Nets. And he's like almost out of the rotation with Denver. He's, mid 20s in minutes, getting a little more now because Braun's out, but he's, this is a very interesting spot. Porter Jr. has been great. I don't mind staying in the Flames, even at 7,600 when people may be getting a little scared of him. Power forward on FanDuel, Jaren Jackson Jr., 6,600. Price is down. The upside is there, so I don't mind coming with some of him. It's a good spot, high-paced game. He just needs to get some steals and blocks. Now, Eddie's back, which definitely hurts his overall ceiling, but he can play more help D, which definitely helps as well. And pivot action, we have talked to everybody, so let's get on over to power forward on DraftKings. Williams, Keldon Johnson at 5,200 is somebody that is active coming off the bench, should play mid-20s in minutes. He's right around a fantasy point per minute. So there's definitely pass, but the ceiling is going to be limited here. He probably gets 28 minutes and really needs to be 1.2 fantasy point per minute, which is like 20% better than what he's been. Over the last 5, he has been 1.8, 1.18, and 1.02 over the last 20. So I guess there's a path. I just think it's a slim path to a real ceiling that we need. And power forward center on FanDuel. Jaren Jackson, Claxton, Duren. Jackson we covered. Claxton at 7,800. I'm going to definitely get some versus the Celtics that kind of struggling a little bit from the big man spot. They are allowing 17 points and 10 rebounds a game. 2 things that Claxton can absolutely do. So far, he is averaging 15 and 7 on the year in 29 minutes. But over the last 5, that's up to 16 and 7 and 30 minutes. So he's been playing a little bit more minutes. And he has a couple, pretty solid ceilings. And in the last three, he's played 30 minutes plus in all three with a ceiling of 35 minutes. I don't hate going to a little Claxton there. Next, let's go pivots. Let's go Mark Williams, 5,700. We're playing a ton of these position players, especially for Portland. And Mark Williams has one of the highest ceilings on the slate. He's at 1.18 fantasy points per minute. And when he gets it going, my man's at like 1.4, 1.5 fantasy points per minute. His minutes have also kind of solidified around that 28 range. And so I think you could do a lot worse than going with Mark Williams. You're going to get different, and there's huge ceiling. Makes some sense. Then there's also Luke Cornett, who should start once again. He played 28 minutes last game, had 11 rebounds, 13 points. Only one assist, but 3 blocks. Like Wemby, he can, add up the stocks a bit. 28 minutes a game in a decent spot. I don't hate going to Cornett there, and that is all for the likes. So let's go to the center spot on DK. Claxton, Duren, Garza. We didn't fully go into Jalen Duren, but it's literally the same that I've been saying. My man has been playing way too well at 8K not to consider. We were all over him last game. We got to go back to him in this spot here. And the only bummer is that last year he didn't do much versus Atlanta, but he was playing way worse than he's playing right now. My man is averaging 12 rebounds and 20 points a game. Over the last 5, he's at 24 points and 15 boards a game. Sometimes you got to just stay in the flames, don't care what the projection or the price is, and do it. And Duren might be one of those spots where I don't care if I'm getting some, without a doubt. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. Please come join us at LineStar. Remember, we do have a free 7-day trial. Also, please like, comment, subscribe to the video. It helps me a ton. I appreciate all your help, and we'll be back with more later. Talk to you all later. Peace.